if it's understandable that contrast is there to show what we don't want, but also by nature the fact
contrast is there to choose from.
Choose from, okay.
In other words, contrast doesn't exist as the bane of your existence. Contrast exists as variety. There, you may not believe this, and a lot of people don't, and we're not kidding, even though we sound sarcastic. There are things that you see as unwanted contrast that others see as wanted. Just like when you go to the cookie counter, you might not want the peanut butter cookie, but you shouldn't demand that they be taken away from the counter. Just don't pick one. Oh, that peanut butter stuff's going to get on my plate. I know it is. I'd feel so much better if you just remove it. And we say, just pick what you want and leave the rest. And that's the way contrast is. It's there for you to choose from.
Can vibration be cleaned up to the point where it's pure and you don't attract anything that contrasts, that you have smooth sailing, peace?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the flaw in that reasoning. What you're saying is, Abraham, I would really like it if I could just look into an environment and see only what I want, because it's so much easier to see what I want and then just have a positive response to seeing what I want. And we say, there's no expansion that can come from that. That would lead to endedness. The expansion comes from seeing what you want, seeing what you don't want, launching the rockets of desires, recognizing that there's a vibrational variance, and then having the fun, and we cannot emphasize this enough, having the fun, feeling the thrill of bringing yourself into alignment with your newfound expansion. That's what life is. That's what life is. That's the ride you came to ride. People say, Abraham, you've got to be kidding. I came to stir up trouble so that I could solve it. And we say more or less. You came to expand. And the thrill of physical experience is then coming into alignment with the expansion. So then you do. And for a moment you have that calm that you were talking about, that peaceful feeling of satisfaction and contentment. But right along with the accomplishment of what you set out to accomplish, you also now have a new vantage point with a new set of contrasting experiences that's going to launch you into more expansion. And we want you to leave this gathering not only knowing about the vortex and not only more cued up to understand your emotional guidance and how it helps you close the gap, but to understand that life is about expanding and aligning and expanding and aligning and expanding and aligning. And we promise you that if it could be the screwy way you have defined it, where you finally get everything just the way you want it so that there's no more contrast and therefore no more reaching and therefore no more aligning, you would not only be bored, you would be done. And there is no done in this eternity that we are all creating together.